Voltron Legendary Defender is the latest in a number of shows in the Voltron franchise, which follows a team of heroes in the far future who pilot 5 giant robots which combine to form Voltron.
Ready to form Voltron! Activate interlock! Dynatherms connected!
Stop. It wasn't a command. To form Voltron, Defender of the Universe. This new series was made for Netflix by DreamWorks Animation, the studio behind other awesome Netflix shows like Troll Hunters and She-Ra, and Studio Mir, the animators behind Avatar: The Legend of Korra. I'll be blunt here, since it's possible some people who watch this video are trying to decide whether they should give the show a chance. The first episode is bad, the rest of Season 1 and all of Season 2 are okay, and Seasons 3 through 8 are great. It's easy to see what caused this disparity, too. The first episode is a pilot, and is paced way too quickly for anything to resonate emotionally because it's establishing the rules of the universe, the setting, and the characters. The rest of Season 1 and most of Season 2 mostly follow a similar formula for each episode. The pilots of Voltron, called Paladins, encounter a threat that they can defeat once they form Voltron.
Infracells up! Mega thrusters are go! Go! Voltron Force!
No. Once they form Voltron and learned a lesson. These first 2 seasons each have 13 episodes and can be kind of a slog to get through. The heroes are very well developed, but the villains are generic mustache-twirling, power-hungry maniacs with no humanity, so it's hard to care about the conflict. Seasons 3 through 6 have only 6 or 7 episodes each, and the lack of any filler means these seasons are laser-focused on developing the characters, including the villains this time. They still have about 1 lighthearted, funny filler episode per season, but it's a lot more welcome when the rest of the season is so serious and plot-driven. Seasons 7 and 8 go back up to 13 episodes, but by this point the writers have mastered this story, so it's still never boring in the least. The most impressive thing about the show is that Voltron is the least interesting thing about it. With most mecha anime or any giant robot cartoon, you find yourself waiting for the giant robots to show up and get into fights. Even with the old Voltron shows, they just make you bored, hoping they'd form Voltron. Stop it! Hoping they'd form Voltron before the end of each episode. Only the best of these shows, like the underseen Symbionic Titan, enrapture you with the character dynamics alone. And wow, does Legendary Defender have characters. At the beginning of the series, the characters all fit into typical generic team roles. Lance is the goofball, Keith is the brooding one, Shiro is the brave leader, Pidge is the smart one, Hunk is the cowardly one, and Allura is the princess. All of them get multiple episodes, and many even get entire arcs devoted to developing them and making them more complex. I wish Lance got more to do, however. He gets 1 episode showing off his unique skill as a sniper, but his most important story contribution beyond that is being in a love triangle with Allura and Lotor. Oh, and about Lotor, it's clear that the creators really wanted to push him as a complex, sympathetic, understandable villain, but they tried to make him being evil a plot twist when anyone could see from a mile away that he was villainous. In fact, I found his generals more interesting, all of them. The show also has a bad habit of adding unnecessary sidekicks like the Altean mice, Rover, and Keith's alien wolf. And Karan might as well have just been Varric from The Legend of Korra for all the similarities they share. Still, the heroes, and after Season 2, most of the villains, are some of the most three-dimensional you'll find in any cartoon. I do take issue with the way Lance and Allura were handled in the last season, though. After Lotor bit it, Lance's love triangle with Allura changed to him just having a crush on her that was usually played for comedy. I'm glad it got more serious in the final season, because it was nice to see Lance have some character stuff going on. But then Allura dies. So the series ends with the goofball suffering in misery, and Allura never gets to see the future she fought for so many years to save. How depressing. I know it's not weird for there to be a heroic sacrifice in stories like this, I just wish it was Lance who died instead. It would have redeemed his underdeveloped character, and we'd have gotten to see Allura after the victory in place of him. If you're like me and wanted the Thundercats reboot to be the more sci-fi oriented counterpart to Avatar, Voltron Legendary Defender is the show you're looking for. It shares Avatar's perspective on war and the personal responsibilities of soldiers and even civilians of corrupt governments. It also portrays a lot of varied perspectives on the conflict without ever trying to justify evil acts. Special shout out to Andrea Romano, the greatest casting director of all time. She made sure that everybody on this show was perfectly cast, just like she always does. If you do watch it, just know that you're in for a couple of mediocre seasons before you get to the really good stuff. Okay, I'll do it. Form Voltron. Thanks for listening.
And I'll form the head!